Hi guys, thank you very much for coming everyone. So I'm going to speak here for about 30 minutes of wildlife and a little bit of my work and the crazy places we've been putting these cameras. So as I was introduced, I'm a wildlife filmmaker. I work both on land and underwater. And as you can see it, my mission in my work is to inspire people to take care of the planet. And for that, I use images, the images I do all over the world. And to do that, to have more people like falling in love and taking care of the planet, I need, of course, the right tool so I can express the art the way I see the world, or the way nature shows up to my eyes. And it's not because I'm talking for Ari. My favorite camera was Alexa. Since the first time I put my eye through the viewfinder, was this moment I love in the first sight. I look at that viewfinder and say, oh, there's something here. Everything was kind of slowed down, and you hear a music like, I'm falling in love with this camera. And it was like that. This was the first picture I took was more than 3 years ago when I got in a project called Wild Brazil. And that is, we shot for 3 years the whole Brazilian country from all the biomes. So here's a small clip with
Brazil,
what is this
a
project
natural
about.
history. Brazil is much more than samba and soccer. Spectacular landscapes, charismatic animals, an amazing diversity of life. Brazil is energetic, flamboyant, a land of stunning beauty. This 5-part series takes you on a fascinating journey through Brazil's natural world to explore its last frontiers. The wild side of Brazil's Football World Cup 2014.
So this is the production company that hired me for this project. So we cover the whole country from the Amazon to the savannas and the Caatinga, which is a kind of desert, and then the Atlantic rainforest, the south of Brazil, the Pantanal, and the beautiful coast. So this was the goal. We had 3 years for that. And it was not just filming the wild Brazil, it's using the latest technology and cinematography, doing it like properly with like all the techniques you use in feature films, we are trying to apply in wildlife, which is really hard because you can't direct nature. You have to be there and wait and see what happens in front of you, and sometimes this takes like months, weeks, months, days, depends. You need to be a little lucky sometimes with nature and be ready. So we took this camera, Alexa, which shot 80% of the film to mountains, deserts, the savanna in Brazil, of course the beautiful coast, into the jungle, and the Pantanal. This was my first, when I got in touch with this camera, my first assignment was in the Pantanal to film jaguar. And one thing that was really funny, in the first day I was really excited to do this job. It was like a kind of dream job to get into, and to film Brazil, my country, and to show that all over the world. And I had this really responsibility to have this huge camera with me the first time with that. And we got in a place like that on a boat. The camera was right on my side. I was in front of the boat. In the first day, like 30 minutes leaving for the first shooting, the guy hits a tree and the boat flips. And I have the Alexa right here, and when I'm falling down, I jump on the boat, The water is like here. The only thing I could save was the camera. I put the camera right here and I hope this doesn't get deeper. And I was in the middle of the river with piranhas, caimans, and all the other stuff, holding the camera like this, and all the other things sinking. So the only equipment I could save was this camera. See, everything you can lose, but the camera. So we took the camera to the side, and then tried to rescue some stuff. I didn't have any other camera there to record that, so we don't have any record of this accident. So it's a kind of problem. We went back to the camp, lost that day with filming, and this in the wild is serious because you can't lose opportunities. You need to be ready all the time. So when I got back to the camp, I was really sad and frustrated. So, but we contacted the insurance company. In 5 days, they sent some other equipment, batteries, and all the other stuff. You continue shooting, and after 5 days, I got the shots that we needed for that assignment. And from the Amazon, we went to the South Coast, which is a really beautiful place, a different place. Few people know in Brazil, which is a kind of a dunes place where you see an environment that doesn't look like Earth. So I tried to capture this in a different look, trying to review the place like another planet, an alien world. So before showing the wildlife, it's always nice to find a different way to get into the place, to introduce the place. And I went there using different lenses, macro, wide angle, and a different cinematography to review this place in a different way. The wind in the south of Brazil is really strong. So as it goes, it builds and creates different formations on the sand. If you see that, it doesn't look like anything, like when I saw that the first time, it doesn't look like anything I have seen in my whole life. And this, it's really small, it's like that. So we are there looking for birds, that's the idea. But, okay, everybody, like 100 people goes there to shoot birds, but they never look to the ground where they are, the environment. So when I saw that, I said, this is something unique, this is something different. I can do something different to introduce the place. And then I spent like the whole afternoon just trying to get different shots of this place. And this is something like for all wildlife filmmakers, aspiring wildlife filmmakers could do it, is try to review nature in a different way, the way it looks to you. And sometimes you have to lie down on the floor, even in the sandstorm, to get some unique stuff before going to the subject. The subject there were like animals and birds. Birds migrate to this place to feed. I'm gonna show that in the clip, the next clip, how they actually edit on the movie. But as you see, this is this landscape where all this happened, and in the background you have the animals. So you can go from here. The clip is a little long just to show you this, but then you have the animals. You can go and tell their story if you want. So shooting with Alex on this environment was really like painful, because when you see all the sand comes to the camera and you say, well, what should I do? So we did some protection, covering, but I have to say that the camera survived really well. All the environments we have been, the sensor worked really well, never had any problem. We had other cameras that didn't survive the project. I lost all the 3 cameras, but this one never showed one problem in this humidity, dry, hot, and a lot of sand. Of course, the assistant had to spend like a full day cleaning up and working on that. And even I got sand on my eyes for at least 2 days that I couldn't get out after this shooting. One thing I really liked the first time I saw the footage from Alexa, because when I got it in my computer, I say, well, it's ready already. I don't need to post-grade and colorize. It was, if you get it right, if you're doing something fast, you don't actually need to. You can, but unless you're shooting RAW, but the Alexa codec, not RAW, is amazing, ready to deliver, in my point of view. So you get it right in the first time, the work on the post-production will be much less. And I love that. Sometimes you need to do something really fast. What I like to say, there's nothing more like boring to spend the whole day filming a jaguar in the under the hot sun, but when you see it in action, it pays for everything. So it's unbelievable when you like spend the whole days, months, weeks, months just waiting. But when you get it right, it's something that is really pays for. So we spend a lot of time in hides like that, and it's really hot. But it's the wait that we live for. We live like to wait to get it done. So the days, weeks, or months we put in order to get a shot, make the eventual shot all more worth it. So after spending a long time waiting, and you see something like that, this hasn't been added to. So when you get the actual kill, which is really rare to get it, and you simply face, you are happy and it's worth it. You can do it again, you can spend, it's like climbing the Everest, climbing a mountain. So it's not nice when you're there, like, but you want to be there, you like it. And when you get it done, it's the most rewarding thing. I can say it, we had it. And of course, if you add love to the equation, a great camera and a great team, for me, Nature Grade gives me the greatest times of my life. So that's what I would like to share with you in these few minutes. I'd like to thank you very much.